Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your card forecast, Taroscopes and Cardoscopes, let's call them, for basically the lunar time, or would it be like rather to say sky time for the period of the Pisces. So this time I'm trying to do something different, and let me introduce you Sapphire. She's here to assist me and to kind of like give her opinion as well about what happens. So what I'm doing this time, I'm actually using three different card systems. Hi, Safi. You think it's a good idea? Can you come down and not break all these cards, please? Thank you. So what I'm doing this time, I'm using three different actual divination methods. Lenormand system, Sybil system, and tarot cards. They all actually have different information, and I just really wanted to see, for the sake of it, how basically things work out. So also want to demonstrate you how actually with different systems we can come to maybe better answers. All right, so let's start with your tarot forecast. Like, what is basically that is in the store for you? You have a Ten of Earth. Ten of Earth is basically earthly pleasures. I guess will be equivalent of Ten of Pentacles, but you can see in Ten of Pentacles, in a standard card, you see a happy family, elderly, dogs, everything. Now, we see cats, and we see cats coexisting in the same place very happily. Each of them found their own spot. So basically, Aquarians are striving to have that peace where, like, I mean, we can feel at home. But this is kind of crossed with basically Three of Sky. Three of Sky is it's a card of, I guess let's say we are mischievous. It could be a card of heartbreak, but in this card, in this deck, it's showing that if things can go wrong, that kind of like did go wrong, and it's just like basically telling us to be careful. It sounds to me that Aquarians have been going through some heartache, and that heartache is still impacting us. It's still like on our mind, and it's kind of like stopping our path to our basically happiness and being grounded. And this is confirmed because in the base we have Demon Cat. So this is that cat, like we all know this cat. It kind of like gets vicious, gets us always present, and we don't know what to think. Should we reward a kitty, or should we just kind of, figure out some disciplinary methods like water bottle, etc. So good news is we are breaking these chains of viciousness. Like, if some of you went through heartbreak and you kind of like felt anger about it, and you wanted to kind of strike back, because when we're in pain, like, I mean, we sometimes manifest it as anger, and here it's clearly that we still have pain as a part of our psyche. So this is going to kind of like go away. We are finishing gestation period where kind of like we felt secluded, even though this is still kind of like partially what we are doing. This is kind of like on the way out, and we know that we need to recover as much as we can. In the past, we had consequences. We got tangled up into something and we got burned. Yeah, we trusted, we got burned, and we got our heart broken. And it was really hard for us because we felt emotional pangs. And for Aquarians, once when we kind of allow ourselves to trust and to love, we are giving ourselves unreservedly. And it shows that in the past, we felt that we made a decision, or whoever made the decision. In any case, it was a time to move on, and like now we are going through recovery. In the present and near future, like, there are certain things that are still going on. There are kind of love messages that are really not communicated. They're still in our heart, but they are like really not communicated properly. So this is the situation. So how do we feel? Well, I'll kid you not, we are not feeling great. We are feeling, but it's the end. Oops. Jeffrey. You're going to mess everything up. I have to stop this to take you down. I'm so sorry about it. I actually hate disciplining her and like my cats to have free reign of the place. But you know, right now, like I mean, it's so sensitive. These cards are so small. Like I mean, you can tell here, like, and it's so easy to kind of lose them. Anyway, go back to this Piece of Sea, Piece of Cups reversed. We are not feeling that we can start something. We're not feeling that relationships are for us. Maybe it is us here who are not able to communicate really. Maybe we are not even able to reassess our pain. And that's why we had basically this Three of Sky appearing. So how are we dealing with that? Again, oh my God, look at that. Come on, Aquarius, we have to shake it off. Like, we cannot be lethargic like that. We cannot just keep away, because you have to understand that this obviously couldn't be about a guy or a woman. This is so much more. This is not really how we are. We are sort of like go-getters. We kind of like get burned, but you know, we learn from it. So what is basically happening this time around, it's a karmic lesson. And as a karmic lesson, it's obviously very painful for us to deal with that, but it brought out our demons. It brought out in us our sense of justice and a sense of self-respect. And it brought out for us like any questions that we have about what do we really want. Like, I mean, Ten of Earth is completion. Like, I mean, we kind of realize from the situation what we want and what we don't want, and we kind of like did already get an idea where and how we want to deal with that. We just have to finish dealing with these tormenting thoughts. And like, these tormenting thoughts are here, these are in our head, and these are in our head. We need kind of like some mental rest because we kind of like kept spinning and spinning and spinning. But this here is in our heart, these are our feelings. Like, we feel that what is being offered is just like not good enough. Maybe we feel that somebody took us for granted. Maybe we feel there is no nourishment. And then all of a sudden something happens, and it's happening like just like that. It's just going to switch somewhere toward the end of the month. So we will still have a little rinse about all this let's call it what it is, crap. And then all of a sudden we'll just wake up. And we will wake up toward the end of the Pisces cycle, I would say, in the last week or the last 5 days. And all of a sudden we have a Nine of Earth and we have Ten of Sea. So there we have basically fulfillment, and Nine of Earth is like, again, so basically, you know, starting point, ending point. Like, I mean, can you get better cards than that in the spread? Here it is. And we are basically shaking off demons, which was a major arcana. And we learn how to basically cut the codependence. We have to give ourselves a little credit that, you know, it was really, really, really painful, but we are handling it, and like, we are so much better for it. We are kind of getting ahead. For some of us, we had a relationship that we have been dealing with. Maybe that was a completely misunderstanding in the whole thing. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe we felt we were wrong. The others, we were trying to form relationships, and there were like so many dead ends, and that we started to doubt ourselves. Like, I mean, can we really find what we're looking for? Is it us? And who is really the person who we represent ourselves in the mirror? Like, I mean, what are we standing for? Do we really want to drift through life? Do we don't want to drift through life, and how? So this is a thought process that we are trying to find where is our space and how playful we really can be. Some of us are not communicating these messages because even though maybe there is somebody in our past, maybe we don't want this person. So this is basically that very Aquarian conflict between emotions and the intellect. We really have to find out what is the best for us. And it's very painful, like breaking these chains and kind of like not allowing lure of relationship or lure of that person to kind of like guide us. So now I want to see the next stage for both of options for the single and for the coupled, and now I'm going to show you how. And keep this in mind, what we just read here, and just let's go with the same question that I posed through all four basically segments. And the question was like, please tell me about Aquarius for the period of Pisces. So let me try to reposition the camera and let's go to the next thing. All right, guys. So now we are in a very Sybil kind of like divination system, and I actually like this one as well. There are more or less kind of like goes in emotional aspects, where Sybil kind of goes more into more pragmatic. So here, basically, what I see, and this is for both taken and single Aquarians. So let me quickly give you a rundown for basically what I'm seeing here. If you're a guy, this will be you, and if you're a woman, this will be you. So what I'm seeing here for this guy, that in his past he was just basically not feeling really well. It was some kind of conversation about the fact that he was not feeling good. Maybe it was some kind of melancholy or depression, which kind of was related to a younger woman, which could be his daughter or something, or it could be you if you're a guy. If you're a woman, what you basically experience is like some kind of treason in the past. Your loyalty or faithfulness to someone has ended, and you kind of like cut it out of your life because you felt that somebody kind of behaved as your enemy. And you and him, or no matter if you're a man or a woman, like, I mean, you already connected, you already have somebody in mind, or you're going to have somebody in mind really, really shortly. And you see what you basically have on trajectory between the two. You have a thief. So it was something in the past that you felt it was stolen from you. That could be peace of mind. And like usually the reveal is like the cards around it. So it was some kind of negotiation, or maybe somebody traveled to see someone, or you're dating somebody who is kind of long distance, or you're dating somebody who is not in a fully resolved situation, because this shows that you're expecting him to break something up, a relationship or marriage. And another side, that she has despair. So this was kind of like the cause of all these probably issues, like, I mean, breakup, and it looks like she was the one calling it quits. But the whole feelings about it did not stop. You know, like, I mean, this whole situation itself is very difficult. It looks like for quite a few people involved. It is for him, or if you're Aquarian, like, this was obviously causing you some mental anguish in the past. For her, obviously, like, tremendous heartache, because this shows like really like pain and suffering, and like obviously a loss of something. And next card, despair, and then we have falseness. You that's the worst part. You stop believing. And if you cannot believe people in the words they say, you cannot believe anything, that you cannot build anything. And that's probably the biggest loss in the whole situation. And kind of like that still is resonating with you. If you were a guy, your experiences in your recent past were also loss of something, a loss of something that you thought you negotiated, that you thought was nice, but it was also kind of like written with kind of like some death or something. So it was crucial for both, for female and male, and even for the coupled people, that there was some, let's say, renegotiating whatever you have currently in a relationship. So you were just not on the same level. It was just not smooth sailing. It was the time to shake it off. Like, you know, sometimes we reach the layers, as we had here in tarot. Remember how we had 9s and 10s over here? Now we have similar things happening here. So let's see now the parallels. Like we had here 10 of Hearts, which was basically showing, you know, that we want discomfort and we want to kind of like enjoy what we have. And we have the Fortune card right next to us, which is kind of like the luckiest card, like almost like this one in the entire deck. Right next to that, we have love, so fortunate love, and this is happening in our future, so don't worry, I'm going to get there. So good news on the horizon, stay tuned. I'm sorry for sounding so melancholic because, you know, it kind of like felt initially so hard to believe that. Of course, I'm jaded, like being Aquarius and having some issues of my own. Of course, I have to be a little bit of judgmental, but at the same time, I'm connecting to all Aquarians listening to this channel. So I'm just actually channeling everybody's energy, and this is what it is. And I think I was skeptical when I took the tarot cards. I said, you know what, I have to cross-reference it before I just give this such great news. So what's basically going to be in the future for a guy? If you're a Aquarian man, this is your future. You do have wedding on your mind. You are either setting on a path that finally you're going to go in a kind of serious relationships, or this is actually not necessarily a wedding, but, you know, maybe a divorce. Because right after the wedding, you see the sorrow, you see jealousy, you see some kind of wise woman, and you see prisons. It could be that maybe because you're married, your path forward is kind of like blocked in a way, and yet you're very fortunate in love. Like, I mean, and this is next to the woman that you guys already know. For us women, we are still going through some kind of like pain, and this can be either a young woman or it can be a child, which kind of is interesting because when I drew a card from the love card, like I got a children card, which basically said your love life is being affected by children. So I'm wondering either if our own dedication to our own children is in a way, or we have met someone with children who's basically taking them in account and maybe giving them a preference over you, even though here they're almost in the same position, and maybe he's finally understanding that, you know, this cannot be my children always come first, because this is very unfair and unbalanced relationship. Like, I mean, both his selected woman and children should be in the same spot. So basically, this was obviously on his mind, and it was very kind of like pressing for him to decide. And if you're a guy, you were taking all these elements in consideration, and you obviously are in love with someone, and it can be either way. It could be some Aquarians that are in a relationship with someone and they're trying to get out, and it's like way more difficult process than it is. It kind of like looks to me, and I'm sorry to be blunt, because I see actually wife over here that is crossing down here, a new beginning with wife who is now an enemy and being served papers. So that tells me this is in the future, but wife or the other person would finally go away. To be blunt, how it looks to me that some Aquarians got involved with a guy who was basically claiming that he's out of relationship, and maybe he really thought so. Maybe he really did, but that other woman had different opinion, and it turned out that Aquarius is that third party, not the other way around. And maybe that's why Aquarians call it quits, because it was like really official, and it was like literally, like, I mean, declaring this guy become an enemy, because Aquarians is not known to tolerate any kind of, you know, crap like that, and we don't like to hurt anyone. So coming to this kind of relationship, we basically maybe, you know, had our say, kind of like waited to kind of clear the situation, and then we can talk. And maybe that's exactly what this is actually talking about. In any case, you know, there is going to be some mess that Aquarian guys will be clearing, or if you're Aquarian woman, that will be dealing with a guy who actually will take charge and start cleaning his thing and cleaning his act. So future for us is unbelievable. So let me just see if I can reposition this a little bit even more. So, you know, look at that here. We have fortunate love, and then this fortune is again connected to that wedding. So it's either going to be a wedding or it's going to be wedding after this divorce. So maybe it's not literally wedding, it's just certain things that we kind of like almost think this is the one, that's the soulmate level. And if you broke up with someone and you kind of like hoped to reunite, but there were no messages, right? Remember, there were no messages because we just didn't want to communicate and we didn't get any communication back. Guess what? There is reunion coming. And not only that's reunion coming, but it's coming, arriving to us and making us happy. And it's warning us not to kind of take it frivolously, because we went through pain. Remember, we went through pain. We went to kind of we went undercover, off the grid. Like, I mean, our friends think we don't exist, we died, you know, we are fighting our demons. Like, we are literally in the proverbial hell of our own, and we are just trying to clear it. So, guess what? This kind of like whole striving that we had in our tarot reading over here, when we had 9 of Earth, 10 of Earth, 9 of Earth, and 10 of Cups. All these kind of completion cards are actually just showing here again. And so there is a completion, there is a reunion happening. This is a new beginning. So 10s are like endings and new beginnings. So babies, like ending of pregnancy, starting new. So what's going to happen here is with the other woman, well, with the main woman. So, you know, it's going to come out the guy was honorable, and he was just maybe trying to figure out situation on his own terms. But my 2 cents would be, you know, you need to do it so everybody is on the same page. I feel how it was done is like that he did basically get an enemy over here. And in this deck, that's kind of like a relatively good card, because in some decks is showing a woman in a cloak with a knife that goes right in the heart. So, you know, the wife is looking the one way, you see here, and he's looking the other way. So they're not looking in the same direction, which is kind of interesting, because when it comes to sweetheart and him, is like that he's going to have to spend some time looking, like, I mean, and caring for her needs. So if you're a guy, you already know who is this woman, and you're going to try to charm her and kind of like be this knight and kind of like present yourself as really nice gentleman. But if you are the sweetheart, if that's us, and we still don't know this guy, or we do know this guy, we are going to use our cell phones. You can see clearly the cell phones, or some kind of like method of modern communication. And this is how basically this communication is going to start to flow. So, good news. Like, so far we have 2 systems that are basically confirming the same thing. Some of us had children, either ours or his or hers, coming in play. And women Aquarians are still going to go and deal with some kind of sadness. So for women, this reunion might not happen during this cycle over here, but we are certainly going to get indication of what he's intending to do. But to really reunite, it might take another 3 months. For a man, they are going to be setting the stage right now and cleaning some business, and then starting March, they're going to start moving ahead in kind of cleaning everything that has been happening. It looks like both things will be done by May or June. That clarity is going to be on a much higher level, and things are going to be cleared. So now let's go to the last one, and I also have to remove the visitor. Just give me a sec. Okay, so let's go to the basically final rinse and see basically what is happening. So I took both male and females, because we do actually have Aquarian guys coming here and listening to this. And just let me give you a scoop from the third layer. This is Lenormand readings. So basically, let's see what this divination says. So it says for him, if you are a guy, then this is like talking about you, and if you are a lady, then this is talking about a guy you set your sights on. So he is going through depression about his love life and questioning his loyalties, yet he's still very attraction is still there. He's questioning if it's a healthy attraction at all, and he's really hoping love communication, and really wants to actually start something. This is actually a card of reunion. So there we go. We have this confirmation of this reunion and love over here as well. And so the final basic destination is the sun. It's like sun and the key, two best cards in the deck. So this is showing up for him. So if you're the guy, you're going to shed all this stuff. So now again, we have like a repeat of this melancholy, and in tarot spread we also had melancholy and kind of like lack of communication, or kind of like wondering if this is done on a healthy level. So all of the systems are saying exactly the same thing. And trust me, I shuffle cards really well, and I was very skeptical, and this is what we got. So what is for the ladies? For the ladies, we have we don't have, like, as for the ladies, that kind of like turmoil. I mean, ladies did make their decisions, or somebody made decisions for them, and even though we maybe did cocoon a little bit and kind of like are wondering what to do next and how to deal with emotions in the future, we are still actually waking up from it, and we are starting to experience a little kind of luck, and we are trying to look in the future, but like we are still aware that we have been betrayed, that we had a snake, and we have difficulty trusting, which kind of like over here, if you remember, showed that we still have this despair and kind of falseness. We kind of like have a hard time grasping, why these things happen. I mean, he simply just didn't communicate, he kind of created a whole bunch of things, and we were left to try to figure out and put the pieces together, and they just didn't fit, and we just call it quits for some of us, right? The others, I've just felt that, that have their boundaries have been violated, because obviously we negotiated something here, and then that was stolen away from you, which kind of caused, again, the breakup, or kind of like some like stuff, and then you wondered if that was all just about the good times and enjoyment, right? And it shows like three-party situation over here, right under loyalty, which kind of stopped being here. So ladies are right now like still also dealing with that kind of thing, but very soon it will be sailing away. So basically, somehow the depression is getting lifted. We are feeling more comfort, and we are feeling better able to kind of like enter that part of us that we still did not heal, and that's that emotional part over here that we had. And it is about the secrets that we were not privy to, that secrets were not told us. We were not told the secrets, right? So the end is the key, and it's the bouquet. Bouquet would represent good fortune, a surprise. Somebody is going to surprise us with something. Like, I mean, we are going to get something really unexpected. And the key as the final, basically, answer or the final flavor of this is a wish card. So, you know, again, we are getting, oops, I almost lost love over here. We are getting things like accomplished. Oh my gosh, you know, this is happening. This might all take some time. It might take a few months. It might take clearing things, but we are going to hear, or we are going to become aware that this was all happening in the background. These things were resolved, and, you know, and it was clarity that we wanted to get, and he is going to finally kind of like lift it and shine the light on it. So this is what we need, and like, I mean, we need that in order for us to be happy. And like, I mean, you can take the stars and the moons, and don't think this is the same thing as a star in tarot. Kind of like, it's similar, it kind of represents the hope, but these cards don't have the same either divination kind of like feel, nor they are read the same way. They're like read in combinations, like rather than a story that you read in tarot. So Aquarians, wow, time has come for us. We still have some things to deal with. We obviously still have some sadness and sorrow, and it's going to come as a big surprise to us. Like, right, we have this surprise here, and you see these clouds are not clouds on this side. They're clouds over here, which is basically connected to something hidden, right? This book is closed, something is hidden, and the cloud is like, the dark cloud is right on this side. So this dark cloud is going to get lifted to give us something, you know, surprising, something, you know, that's going to be beneficial to us. So this is that sunny side is over here. So nothing to fret. This is basically the last one, and coming with a key, which is basically the key card of the reading, and the sun over here. Honestly, if I was picking the cards, I don't know if I would be able to think through that this is how it has to be done. So good future for us. Enjoy March. Devote time to yourself. If we need to cocoon and shelter ourselves, if we need to feel sad, try to kind of like also come up with some kind of goal. And here it's showing that we should have the goal in feeling comfortable at our home, with our friends, with our community, and this is where we need to focus and to kind of trust, because here we picked the best card in this deck, Fortuna, that is right in between the gentleman and the lady. So it cannot be better. It's right next to love. So this love that here he kind of like thought he lost, he's trying to win, because that is obviously in his future, in our future, and this is also the card that is crossing us, and it's a big love. And this is not any love, this is like a soulmate love. So I know that some of us really thought, well, this is not a guy for us, and that we kind of healed codependency, but guess what? He was healing his. And right now, when we reunite, we are uniting as different people. And that's why this is warning us not to be frivolous, because, you know, in our past we were just saying things and experiencing things that were just like too Aquarian, let's call it, like too brutal, too kind of like direct. So it's just basically telling us that we have to be softer, and I think we are now into the next level of our development. We have learned some painful lessons, got in touch with our emotions, and we are ready to move on. And the switch is going to happen suddenly in very Aquarian manner. So there you go, guys. Enough of talking. Like, go ahead, enjoy. Just shed all this kind of issues that we have. Shed any tear that you want. You're good to go, because it's going to switch is going to happen. And the luck is here, and she's going to get ready to kind of process this video. And thank you very much for supporting this channel. Let me know what you think about this new kind of like system that I'm trying, if this is something you would, you know, want me to continue in the future. Here is like my assistant. Hi, Safi. Hi, Sapphire. Can you say hi? Can you say hi to Aquarius? That's Aquarius too, like February 5th. That's another Aquarius, very mischievous. So thank you very much again. Please click on subscribe. Please click on like. That way you will actually get in your mailbox dailies and you'll get notifications so you can kind of quickly check. With dailies, I'm making it really quick that you get to the point within 2 minutes. And then you have weeklies and then you have monthlies. And monthlies I'm doing as per basically astrological signs. Again, great times ahead, Aquarians. Good luck. Love you. Talk to you soon.